On this slide, you'll notice that I've highlighted an example paragraph that's written about a character, and it accomplishes our task, which is to include all six different perspectives within the same paragraph. So to do that, on the left-hand side, I've included a list. I'll get to that afterward. So if we look at the paragraph in the example, I've highlighted all the different hats that are present just by writing the paragraph. So as the writer, you have to be intentional about the perspectives that you take and the perspectives that shift throughout your writing. So to do that, uh, follow the checklist on the left. The first sentence is an example of a green hat. It's creative and it uses a metaphor. The next sentence is white. It represents a white hat. It's a data. It's fact. If you look at Grandpa, he's always calm, relaxed, and ready to fish. Uh, the third sentence is a yellow sentence, or it's written with the yellow perspective in mind. He may be old, but he's always ready to pull in that 30 pounder. It tells you about his values and his benefits, why he loves to fish. It's because he loves the thrill of pulling in that 30 pounder. The next sentence and the fourth sentence is catered to the red hat. Notice how it evokes feelings, hunches, or gives you an instinct or intuition about Grandpa. Grandpa will sit for hours patiently waiting for a bite. That gives you a feeling and it gives you an intuition. It also reveals a little bit about Grandpa's intuition about why he loves to fish. The fifth sentence is a purple type of sentence, and it evokes that perspective in that it says, I admire those big, calloused, and scratched hands that have done so much. Notice how both of those point out the difficulties or the potential problems or the negatives of somebody's physical appearance, but it finishes in a sense of positivity. It continues with uh, pointing out another difficulty or a life progression, and that is the head with not too much hair left on top. Notice how the purple hat tends to point out the uh, not necessarily negative, but more the adversarial things that people oftentimes judge based on for that perspective. Uh, this writer decided to use an extra white hat for the data, facts, and information. Going fishing with Grandpa is always so much fun if you can learn to be patient. So that's a fact about Grandpa. Lastly, we have a blue hat, or we have a sentence that connects and shows the process of fishing. His love for his family is almost as great as that of his tackle box, fishing reel, and bait. So notice how that gives a process, the next steps, and then you could write your next paragraph and your next paragraph, which is the climax, about going fishing with Grandpa. So here's your checklist as you write your paragraph. Start off by using a character trait to start the paragraph. Second, use the character trait to tell the plot. Think about the entire story. Connect your character to the actions that are happening before and after this moment in your narrative. Use a phrase from the character to support his characterization. Of course, you can always use dialogue to help along the characterization. Be sure that you state what the character looks like. That's where you can really pull in different hats because you can evoke different types of perspectives. For example, if you wanted to do a yellow hat, what does the character look like when they're showing their values, beliefs, and explaining that something may not work in a very pragmatic way? The other items state a phrase to describe the character's personality. Again, you can pull in many elements of the different types of perspectives or hats in that one task. As you go through and explain and describe and then explain, pull in each different hat and each different perspective. You know the audience that you're writing for. It should include all six of these different perspectives. And so you get to put them in whatever order you want to organize them in. Just make sure that you have all six. I would refer back to this paragraph as often as possible just to see the pattern and also to see the process of how to write each sentence. So when you write your own character and you create your own character in your narrative and you tell the reader about that and you explain it and then you describe it, have this template as a resource in order to help you know that you've hit all 6 different perspectives and you've shifted them throughout one single paragraph. That's the objective of the lesson.